Thank you, Sunshine Shoulders.
Thank you so much, Sunshine Shoulder and family. God bless you and more blessings to come.
This is not a hate video, nor is this a troll video. The line of discussion within this video is based on content that has been uploaded in the Philippines YouTube and social media foreign community, which is a public domain. This video is not about the content creator, but speaks to the underlying web of intricacies that surround such content, content creation purposes, and how it impacts local society, culture, and more importantly, foreign perception of the local society. Sunshine Shoulders. Calvin Roach. The Roach. The Philippines version of Bumpy Johnson out in San Carlos City. The Rodney King in the Philippines YouTube expat community. These are just some of the well-known terms that the Roach has been knighted and are associated with in recent times. The Roach is a retired insurance salesman with a shady background. He is a self-confessed recovering drug addict and suicide survivor who turned his life around as a successful corporate slave who was able to get off the hamster wheel before retirement age rolled around. The Roach's previous relationship is with a Filipina who basically played him for a green card back in the United States, where she continues to receive child support and other benefits granted through their divorce settlement. His content is therefore tailored towards the Philippines being a drug rehabilitation center over a retirement home, as many would picture or even inspire when setting themselves up for residing here. His content is also his version of the Playboy Mansion, where young Filipinas of legal age with no experience in life, and its burdens are worthy catches for older Western men, who are then leveled down to sex predators. The Roach is the #1 ambassador to sex tourism in the Philippines YouTube foreign community. It seems to be his newfound drug that he almost certainly didn't have a luxury of during his years of living in a crack house, surrounded by pushers and addicts. It is his necessity, and he tries to force that narrative of sex being a necessary part of the expat experience. The Roach reinforces the narrative that Filipinas are required to please their spouse, and it is a part of their culture. Really. The fact here is that this is true to all relationships, regardless of race and culture. This is a right in every relationship, but the Roach has placed it as an unwritten condition in foreigner-Filipina dating. It is degrading, and is a very low-level view of any society. To further understand where I'm going with this, let's examine the Roach current relationship. Marilyn Roach was a single mother who was struggling to put food on the table and send her kids to school. She was catfished by the Roach on a dating site and basically lured into a slave and dictator relationship. Though traditional, these values continue to diminish as women thrive to find their footing in modern society. The Roach is an atheist, but perhaps the only thing that he believes in the Bible is that of a woman upholding her duties as second in command to an household. The Roach was able to find an older submissive woman with basically nothing to lose at that point in her life. Younger women would be a hard catch, and he has admitted that 5 different younger Filipinas from different provinces couldn't exist with him and his baggage. The Roach is basically in a transactional relationship where he is in a rehabilitation center and paying for extra service. He then pushes this narrative as part of culture and Filipino way of life. It isn't. The Roach has a hustler's view of life for an expat in the Philippines. A gang leader mentality of owning the plantations. The Bumpy Johnson attitude with no credibility aside from financial security and connections in higher portions of society. So after leveraging the keyword sex in association with the keywords foreigner and the Philippines to grow his channel for over 3 years, he has now shifted over to playing the victim mindset as a minority portion of society based on race. A mindset that we would very much like to be eradicated from practical society as a way of the past and how it has shaped regardless of evolving trends.
Welcome to my channel, Sunshine Shoulders. I'm Calvin. Thank y'all so much for stopping by. Every black man has a story.
It's like some Filipinos think that all Americans are white.
All Americans are white.
A lot of them think all.
Yeah, I had that same experience
Yeah,
in 2009, though.
Yeah.
And you're talking about here recently.
Yeah, I've had it a couple of times. You know, they'll ask me stuff like,
The point here, aside from the fact that locals were trying to dupe these two, is that black men are not marginalized, nor are they a minority. Playing the victim mindset is promoting racism regardless of intentions. Racism is racism. There is no other perspective or alternative. So what we have here is basically a rehabilitated drug addict enforcing his own neglected method of thinking over a certain portion of society.
Thank you, Sunshine Shoulders. Thank you, Sunshine Shoulders.
Here we have a pathetic attempt at a game show. Is the Roach allowed to host a social media game show as a foreigner in the Philippines? This is what locals, seemingly females only, are opened up to when exposed to the Sunshine Shoulders Plantation. It's not even a community. It's like a band of misfits, all over the Philippines' expat portion of social media, exploiting the weak, vulnerable, wealthy, willing and unwilling to a victim mindset for views, likes, and followers. The Philippines authorities ought to develop a framework or guidelines for foreign influencers leveraging their setbacks through financial gain. This is not what Filipinos are known for. The Philippines is not a game show stage for those who cannot survive and maintain in their own country of origin. Essentially, we witness a rehabilitated drug addict imposing his flawed worldview upon a segment of society. His social media presence, including a seemingly frivolous game show format, raises questions about the integrity and appropriateness of such content. The local community is faced with problematic portrayals through platforms like Roach's, which might exploit vulnerable individuals for views and engaging content. It is essential that Filipino authorities craft guidelines to regulate foreign influencers who capitalize on their adverse circumstances for profit. The Philippines deserves to be recognized for its rich culture and resilient people, not as a backdrop for those evading accountability in their home countries. Behind the facade of a reformed life, the Roach's content is laced with a sleazy, predatory attitude towards women. He preys on vulnerable young women, using his wealth and status to manipulate them into relationships. His content perpetuates the degrading notion that Filipinas are required to please their spouses, reinforcing outdated and oppressive values. The Roach's current relationship with Marilyn is a prime example of his exploitative behavior. He catfished her on a dating site, luring her into a subservient role in their relationship. This is not a cultural norm, but rather a reflection of his own twisted worldview. We need to expose the Roach's toxic influence and hold him accountable for his actions. The Philippines is not a place for exploitation or predatory behavior. It's time to promote respect, empathy, and understanding between cultures. What are the guidelines of Sunshine Shoulders? What is its rating? The topics he discusses doesn't fall in line with his platform descriptions and viewer age. Share this video if you agree that the Roach's behavior is unacceptable. Let's create a more positive dialogue around expat relationships and cultural exchange.